glutathione as our master antioxidant. And when we talk about an antioxidant, what are we talking about? We're basically talking about uh, a nutrient or
Yeah.
molecule that is free radically scavenging
Yeah.
all the oxidative stress that we encounter every single day, not just from toxins that we take in or absorb through the skin, but just everyday toxicity from environmental toxicity. Milk thistle is in it, and milk thistle, again, we have our own milk thistle as a standalone, but it's also
Yes.
in our liver formula. It's also in our estrogen detox and balance formula. That's for men and women.
Okay.
The liver formula, obviously, for men and women. But these common denominators, when you start to kind of dive down and dig deep into these ingredients, these
Yeah.
common denominators are really fascinating.
Welcome back, folks. Episode number 96 to the Healthy Habit Podcast. I'm Dr. D, Dr. Dayan at Healthy Habit Medical Center. I'm your host of the show, and it's our first time checking in this year, 2024, with Emerald Labs. Yours truly is back, folks. We're talking with Stacy Faulkner here, who's worked in the natural health industry since 2000. As a national educator for Emerald Labs, Stacy provides insight and understanding to those seeking information regarding better health through proper supplementation and self-care. And again, we're representing Emerald Labs here today for episode number 96. Stacy's back to keep us in the loop with what's happening at Emerald. How are we doing, Stacy? Happy
I am
2024.
terrific. Happy New Year to you, and happy to be back. Happy to have a good discussion on what we love talking about, nutrients and supplementation and health and well-being holistically. I love it. I'm
A lot of
happy to
people
see
when
you, Dehan.
right, me too. A lot of people when they start a new year, they want to start supporting their liver health and help their detox pathways, which sounds very out there, but it's happening. There's detoxification happening every single day on a cellular level, and we're going to highlight a few products that can help us do that naturally to support it. Never medical advice, right, Stacy? We're just giving some info here. So
Oh, just
we
info.
so set the stage. We talked a little bit before we went on here. There's certain enzymes and playing a role here between NAC and glutathione, and let's dive into it. You can set this. You can lead us in.
So sorry it's so loud. So just like you said, Dan, liver detoxification or just detoxification in general,
Right.
there's a lot of things out there that you could take naturally as far as supplementation to assist the liver. And the liver is just in charge of detoxifying the body every single day. He's kind of, I like to say that he's overworked. It's an organ that's overworked and underpaid, you know?
Mm.
And so with Emerald Labs, we do have a few products that would be really helpful and supportive for detoxification processes for people. I mean, if you're looking into a fruit, a milk thistle, if you're looking into bitter
Right.
melon is very helpful, omelet is very helpful. But today we're going to really dive into like glutathione, which is our body's master antioxidant,
Yeah.
and N-acetylcysteine. So, which is, a non-essential. I would say that perhaps it should be considered essential, especially if people have low glutathione production. Um, but yeah, so let's get into it.
Let's start with glutathione. I mean, that's an important one. We can spend 2 months just talking about glutathione, the master antioxidant. It's called. You have just a standalone, correct, at Emerald Lab, just a straight
Emerald Labs,
glutathione, correct? Tell us about it.
correct. So we are purchasing our glutathione from a Japanese company called Setria. And so Setria glutathione, it's comprised of its three molecule format. So it's like a precursor to helping glutathione produce naturally in the body.
Yeah.
So like we just said earlier, it is our body's master antioxidant. It is considered non-essential because our body produces it, but there's a couple ways we can get more glutathione production going by either the healthy foods that we eat, right? So
Yeah.
amino acid is very heavily comprised in meats, the amino acids in meats. So healthy proteins, fruits and vegetables. I believe butternut squash, asparagus, lentils, things like that are very good producers. I
Yeah.
understand. So we really want to support that glutathione production as far as wanting to healthily age. So I think by like 40, we start decreasing our glutathione production by like 30%. I believe by 65, glutathione production is down by 50%. So we
Wow.
really want to encourage our body to constantly be generating glutathione as our master antioxidant. And when we talk about an antioxidant, what are we talking about? We're basically talking about a nutrient or
Yeah.
molecule that is free radically scavenging
Yeah.
all the oxidative stress that we encounter every single day, not just from toxins that we take in or absorb through the skin, but just everyday toxicity from environmental toxicity, etc. So what I understand too is like some of the people that are over 100 have really high levels of glutathione production. So the people that are living the longest have this natural this antioxidant that's being produced. And so
Yeah.
from foods or from foods or from supplementation, from N-acetylcysteine, magnesium, we can really increase the glutathione production in all sorts of ways. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
so what you have there is the glutathione, so Setria glutathione, like I said, it's in its 3-molecule format. I don't know if I said that or not, but three
Yeah.
molecule format, the glycine, the glutamate, and the cysteine. So it's naturally going to help the body produce the glutathione that we need. And the 250 mgs that you see on the bottle here is important because we need about 250 to 300 mgs, we need that amount to produce naturally every day to really have a good amount of glutathione in the system. So this is why
Right.
it's in a one capsule. It's a super tiny capsule, so 1 month supply. It's completely additive free, and it's a proven clinically based glutathione that a lot of people will have concerns that the glutathione oxidizes on its own.
Right.
In itself, it's not stomach acid stable, but this company guarantees that it is in a peer reduced form and that it is stomach acid stable and it will not oxidize on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good form of glutathione. And for people that want to supplement with every single day, I do think that's important, especially if people have genetic variants.
Yeah.
That glutathione is something that you need to keep in as an antioxidant, a strong antioxidant that's really going to help with liver detoxification, healthy aging, etc.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Well
Yeah.
said. And especially you highlighted how important it is to get all the other nutrients like magnesium, NAC, vitamin C to help recycle this glutathione and keep it around in our system,
Yeah.
keep our levels up.
And that's a good point that you just brought up. Glutathione and vitamin C, they work I think basically they potentiate each other or they work
Yeah.
synergistically together. So when you said recycle, glutathione recycles vitamin E, vitamin
Yeah.
C. And so when we say recycle, it just basically pumps a little bit more life into those extinguishing antioxidants.
Mm-hmm.
When they've been free radically scavenging through the system all
Yeah.
day, they start to die off.
Exactly. And I'm pulling up here some just a visual. If you're on YouTube, the audio listeners will just kind of describe it, but glutathione's involved in so many different reactions in the body, and many nutrients are doing as best as they can to keep it around in our system, right? So you can see that there's a glutathione pool here that plays a role in all these different diseases, especially heart, hypertensive, high blood pressure, blocked arteries. Glutathione's involved in all that, right, Stacy? It's not just
Yeah, and
immune
also
system.
the alcohol is
Yeah.
really important. We're getting so much more research on alcohol-related cardiovascular disease, and glutathione has been really being pointed to as far as N-acetylcysteine too. We're also looking at phase 1 detoxification of the liver.
Yeah.
So the liver has a lot of work to do overnight when we finally rest and start to, try to go to deep REM sleep, and looking at that, the pathways of the glutathione, super important for so many things.
Right. So,
If
and
I
then
haven't said that already, the immune
no,
system,
right.
oxidative stress in general, increasing of magnesium levels. Magnesium is so important, and so
Mm,
many people are deficient in magnesium. Um, Toxins,
right.
liver
Right.
function.
Yeah. The most important liver nutrient. Yeah, you can make a case for that. And
Right.
it's a popular add-on here at the clinic when we do IVs for people. You can add on a glutathione push at the end of the IV for that extra support,
Ooh,
which is
wow.
nice. And that's the good thing here about Healthy Habit Health Food, Stacy. We have the clinic there so you can get your glutathione with the IV route. Then we have the whole supplement side where we have Emerald Labs glutathione capsules as well. So,
And you can add that to your regimen.
right, to keep the levels up after. right? After you
Sure,
leave.
sure.
There's many different ways you can go about it. So thanks for highlighting the Setria glutathione, which is basically just a trademark patented
It's a
form of it,
patented,
right?
so we're trying to use patented, registered, or trademark ingredients because they're science backed. So if somebody's not going to go with the IV route
Oh,
and your stuff, right?
right.
If they're just going to go with a supplement, then we might get very affordable.
Yeah.
We're completely additive free, but I think that's really important to be able to keep that glutathione going and either way people look at it, you can somehow get your glutathione production up by being diligent, doing your
Yeah.
research, listening to the podcast.
That's right. Exactly. Again, episode number 96, folks. We're talking with Stacy Faulkner here on the Healthy Habit Podcast, who's been working in the health industry, natural health world since 2000. So you better be listening, folks. Stacy's talking from experience here. And Emerald Labs is the additive-free company. Give us a quick reminder. What does that mean, the additive-free company?
So for Emerald Labs, additive free means absolutely no magnesium stearate, no
Yeah.
flow agents, no lubricants, and no vegetable lubricants. And for the consumers that don't know what a flow agent or a lubricant is, it's basically something that's used in the manufacturing process to
Mm-hmm.
keep the machines going during the encapsulating process. And so what Emerald Labs does is if somebody, like you showed the glutathione label, the other ingredient is just going to be a vegetable capsule.
Uh-huh.
So it's a project verified non-GMO pine bark capsule. It's just the cellulose. It's quick dissolving. So these formulas are created with this capsule in mind to
Yeah.
get it through the mucosal lining into the bloodstream as quick as possible. So, and to do its work, if there's no nutritive value in an ingredient, it is not going into the vegetable capsule for Emerald Labs. So we slow all the machines down and we do really, really like small production runs.
Uh-huh.
And we don't have a problem with like powder morphology or anything like that.
Hmm.
Because we've been doing that from the inception. We're a 21-year-old company. So completely additive free. So that should give confidence and empowerment to the consumer when they're looking at Emerald products.
Yeah, coming in Healthy Habit, folks. Corner of Bethany Home Road and 7th Street, 6029 North 7th Street, Central Phoenix. And Stan the Demo Man will help you guys out, folks. We have the whole section right there, the Emerald Labs, which the glutathione's there, NAC, what we're about to discuss. You mentioned milk thistle earlier. We have all these products right here. I've taken the pomegranate capsules. We have that as well at Healthy Habit. So come check us out. We're open 7 days a week. So NAC, what role does NAC play in all this, Stacy? NAC.
N-acetylcysteine, which is just one of my favorite nutrients right now because it's getting so much research out there right now. Dr. Amen is talking about it,
Right.
neurosurgeon or neuroscientist. I just recently listened to a podcast, him talking about he's got these clinics in Florida for addictive behaviors.
Okay.
Okay. And so they're finding that this N-acetylcysteine, because they're clinically backed, science backed, it's going to say what it's going to do what it says it's going to do.
Right.
So what they're finding with N-acetylcysteine, which is just cysteine, okay, normally our methionine will convert into cysteine through the liver, right?
Right.
And so super important, but this N-acetylcysteine, which is now, which is available in the supplement form, is really important for not only as a precursor to help our body create more glutathione, okay, naturally,
Yeah.
but what we found is it crosses the blood-brain barrier. It's so important for, they found neurodegenerative diseases very helpful for like
Yeah.
Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. It's good for um, um, male and female fertility. So
Right.
is glutathione for the semen quality in men. Uh, Polycystic ovary syndrome, the
Yeah.
PCOS, for women. We've now found the studies that are coming out for, especially in higher amounts. And so with Emerald Labs, we have it at a 600 milligram per one capsule,
Right.
but we have it in a 2-month supply. And specifically, we're formulated by Dr. Mark Stengler, who's a naturopathic medical doctor. So what he has found in his studies or with his patients, and an uptick in the patients, especially after the pandemic, is mood, anxiety, addictive behaviors. And so this N-acetylcysteine has really been shown to, at 1200,
Hmm.
so 2 capsules in the morning, okay, at 1200, are starting to show signs to improve mood.
Yeah.
or repetitive behaviors, right? Then if you're doing 2400, and people can look this up, the studies are there, is at 2400, we're looking at addictive behavior. So I'm not just talking about substance abuse, I'm talking about repetitive thoughts. And this N-acetylcysteine has been proven through the clinical studies to really help with
Hmm.
these repetitive thoughts. And so that could be sugar,
Yeah.
overeating, that could be driving fast, that could be drugs, alcohol, pharmaceuticals, overeating, that could be gambling. And so this N-acetylcysteine is quite fascinating with really the studies that it's coming up with. You know,
Wow. That's fascinating.
schizophrenia has been one of the things that have been noted. You
What's that?
know, OCD,
Oh.
bipolar.
Wow, yeah, see, so many people don't have NAC on their radar when it comes to mental health. It's just the liver detoxification. It is in the Emerald Labs allergy formula as well, the Allergy Health
Right.
blend. You want to highlight that real quick?
So when we're looking at, if people remember, maybe they don't, but during pandemic,
Yeah,
N-acetylcysteine was kind of taken away from our natural health industry, right?
right.
Because it was originally, I think, uh, formulated, or it was originally discovered as a pharmaceutical, right? But they never really utilized it. But the holistic industry definitely utilized it, and so
Yeah.
it was brought back. But when we're talking about allergy, we're talking about respiratory health, and so the respiratory health has been really looked at for lung disorders like COPD, like cystic fibrosis, bronchitis. It's in our allergy health too, like you just
Right.
mentioned. So N-acetylcysteine you really can't go wrong with, because it really is so effective for so many different, what would you say, biochemical processes in the body. Like I said,
Exactly.
neurodegenerative, infectious disease like AIDS, or RSV or SARS. That's, that people are looking at a lot more these days. Metabolic syndrome, a non-alcoholic fatty liver, and we already talked about acute, liver diseases. And so acetaminophen overdose, that's also really good with glutathione as well. And, to bring that up, I did go down this rabbit hole this morning about there's new studies on glutathione and N-acetylcysteine as a mix. And
Uh-huh.
so what they found for alcohol, it increases the ethanol metabolizing enzyme activity.
Wow.
So if somebody knows they're going to have a big night, you can take N-acetylcysteine prior and really reduce hangovers.
Yeah.
But also it's going to really be protective for the liver. So increasing these metabolizing enzymes that are going to, increase the ethanol metabolization is super important, and it's suppressing like the elevation of the serum alcohol.
Yeah.
Um, the it's acetaldehyde. It's
Yeah, it's a tough one.
acetaldehyde.
Yeah.
Okay, that's super interesting to me. It's increasing the antioxidant enzymes as well.
Yeah.
And so there's something called the NRF2 factor, which is really increasing into antioxidant activity, like antioxidant enzymes in the system,
Right.
um, with this NRF2. And like milk thistle has NRF2, dim has NRF2. So
Interesting.
we're suppressing an overproduction of reactive oxygen species. And I don't mean to get so deep with the listeners, but
Yeah.
reactive oxygen species is from oxidative stress that we encounter every single day, from the
Yeah.
foods, the beverages, the toxins, the cleaners we're using, in, environmental toxicity, all of those xenoestrogens, etc. So we really want to keep reactive oxygen species at a low amount, and and not have an overproduction of that, because that's causing the oxidative stress, the reactive oxygen species. Then it's very damaging to the system.
Wow. That's really interesting. Milk thistle contains a NAC and glutathione. They all have this activity where they can suppress the NRF2, you're saying, enzyme.
Well, no, they have the NRF2, which is a long word. It's a factor.
Right.
So we want the NRF2 because it's increasing antioxidant
It protects
enzymatic
us.
activity. Yeah,
Yeah.
in certain proteins of the cells. And so common denominators would be, it's in DIM, which is a
Dim.
good estrogenic detoxifier,
Yeah.
right? It's, the rainstorm's coming hard now.
Uh-huh.
Um, milk thistle is in it. And milk thistle, again, we have our own milk thistle as a standalone, but it's also
Yes.
in our liver formula. It's also in our estrogen detox and balance formula. That's for men and women.
Okay.
The liver formula, obviously, for men and women. But these common denominators, when you start to kind of dive down and dig deep into these ingredients, these
Yeah.
common denominators are really fascinating.
Yeah.
So increasing antioxidant activity, especially the enzymatic activity of the NRF2 is pretty neat.
Incredible.
Oh, and the milk thistle that we have, Dehan, it contains all 6 isomers and it's 80% silymerins. And so I
Yeah.
say isomers, I call them all the sillies. And so there's
Oh,
6 different sillies, right? SYLY or SL, you get
yeah.
what I'm saying. But the silymerins,
SILYBUM.
80%, yeah. And
Yeah.
so you can explain that to the consumer if you want why the silymerins are important.
Yeah, I mean, you need, just like you were saying, it has a lot of these different transcription factors that we need to detox pesticides, even, and excess estrogen from the liver. And it's many, many roles, especially in detoxing, cleaning the blood. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. The
Yeah,
main reason someone would want to use it. And milk thistle is very, very high in that. So very interesting, though, about the NRF2. I'm going to do a quick screen share here just so people can see it visually as well through Google. You can see here emerging roles of NRF2 and phase 2 antioxidant enzymes that Stacy was just highlighting. So these enzymes, it's a group, basically a battery
yeah.
of critical proteins that literally detoxifies xenobiotics. This was a Chinese study in 2013. And you're saying that NAC has these NRF2s in it with the milk thistle and DIM, and then by as a fact of that, they're going to have the antioxidant enzymes that are working much better in detoxing. Very cool stuff there. Thanks for
It's
highlighting that.
fascinating to me.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
And then if we pull up the NAC here, we have this. It says vegan on front. Is that specific reason you chose to put that really big on there on the
Yeah,
front? Because I've wondered about that.
that's a
Why?
great question, Jahan, because this vegan formula, we're about a 95% vegan driven, formula
Uh
line with
huh.
115 or something products that we've got going on. But a lot of people don't understand that amino acids a lot of times come from synthesized duck feathers.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
so if a
Wow.
vegan doesn't understand that, that's something that they would want to understand and know. So it can come from allium, the onion flour, allium, but what we're using is a very clean fermented corn um, product
Yeah.
that makes us vegan. And then what I pointed out earlier, the 600 milligrams would be for daily, daily maintenance, but you can see it's a 2 month supply. So one a day would be daily maintenance. Two a day at 1200, right when you wake up, will help eliminate depressive symptoms, or like I said earlier, mood,
Yeah.
increasing more of a beneficial mood, um, and repetitive thoughts. So that could lead to ruminating, to paranoia, and then eventually schizophrenia. And so this is why N-acetylcysteine too has been improving with have been shown to improve schizophrenia with the use of, I think it's called risperidone.
Okay.
So risperidone. So the whole thing in crossing the blood-brain barrier is super important with the N-acetylcysteine, from lung, gastrointestinal, male and female fertility, to liver disease, to airway passages, um, age-related macular degeneration,
Yeah.
systemic lupus, and various signs of cancer have been, or forms of cancer have been noted that it's been helpful for.
Uh huh.
Chelating toxic minerals it's been helpful
Uh
for,
huh. Yeah.
um, like lead and cadmium, arsenic. I think that N-acetylcysteine is so fascinating. And at 2400 a day, it's been clearly noted to reduce the repetitive mindset.
Yeah.
So ruminating, and that ruminating can be specifically for, like, like I said, addictive behaviors, addictive
Right.
thoughts, not just drugs, alcohol, and pharmaceuticals, but whatever somebody's really ruminating about, can't get their thoughts out. It's slowing that repetitive thought and reducing, the addictive behaviors, the poor
Yeah.
choices that somebody might make.
Yeah, and you can see people with these repetitive patterns or addictions, they're actually low in NAC. They have low status of NAC and vitamin
Uh,
C too. So this is good. It's a 2 month supply. It's a vegan option. We literally had someone come in because we have health conscious customers and patients here, Stacy. They're always researching on health. I'm learning from them every day. They came in looking for specifically a vegan NAC product. And so they knew that a lot of them aren't vegan or
Yeah.
plant-based. So then I directed them to the Emerald Labs version here, the vegan NAC, 600 milligrams a pop per capsule. So, and your dose, your doctor can help you with your dose. We're not giving out dosing
Right.
strategies, just what the research shows,
Just the research.
and I like the snippet you have here at emeraldlabs.com that NAC is a source of the conditionally essential amino acid L-cysteine and a precursor to, like you said, the tripeptide glutathione. And you need this for healthy detoxification, folks. Might as well get it from Emerald Labs, family owned and operated since 2001. We're going on 23 years here as a company that's committed to providing your family with additive-free formulas and superior nutrient forms in therapeutic amounts, always based on the research. And who else can do it better telling us what's happening than Stacy Faulkner here? What's a good recap? Last minute here. Flew
So
by.
I would say a recap would be that all of the formulas from Emerald Labs, for whether it's what we're talking about today or something condition specific that you're facing, chronic,
Yeah.
acute, seasonal, family history, preventative maintenance, is that it's a result driven line. We're doctor formulated. Dr. Stengler provides these formulas that he creates that are research driven, clinically backed, cutting edge ingredients.
Yeah.
We're fair minded priced. And so I think that, having Dr. Stengler see what's upticking in his patients at his institute, and then us being able to have our own label of same products and be able to provide to the average consumer at a fair minded price is really terrific. And I know that Healthy Habits
Yeah.
is really supportive of the Emerald Labs formulas. And just like you found the vegan, I mean, it's great. I think we might be the only one that's vegan out there that clearly
Right.
states
Definitely
vegan
that states it, right?
for the
Yeah.
consumer. We don't want to waste the time. We're trying to educate the consumers at the shelf level.
Right.
We know that they're coming in list driven. So
Yes.
making it easy for them to pick out the products.
Thank you for coming on for episode number 96, Stacy, and keeping
You're
us in the
welcome.
loop with what's happening at Emerald. That was jam-packed with information. Our listeners were going to appreciate that. I can't
It
wait to
goes
talk
so
to you
fast.
next time.
All right. See you next month.
Thank you, Stacy.
Bye, Dan. Have a great
Bye-bye.
week.
You too.
Bye.